What is going on, guys? Crucible here, and today we are going to be doing more of our Dokkan Battle Beginner's Guide of 2025. Before we get started in today's video, though, I did want to make mention of a couple, like this one little particular instance of content that you might get from time to time when you play the game. And this is a special login bonus. Occasionally, the game will release like a special login bonus that gives you additional rewards. Usually these come like right before like a major celebration. Obviously the anniversary, the 10th anniversary is right around the corner. So this is kind of to get people stocked up and ready to go, and just a little extra bonus before the anniversary actually starts. So we have the possibility of getting all of these different gifts. Ideally we want the ultra super lucky rewards in particular, just because it's the most amount of bang for our buck. But let's kind of get in here and kind of see what we get. Okay, so we just got the super lucky. We just got 5 stones, which 5 stones is really good. And then we got some Kais to kind of help level up our characters and stuff like that. So, all right. So in today's episode, we were going to go over, what specifically? I think we were doing the hidden potential system. That's right. So we're going to do the hidden potential system, go over what all that is and what that entails. Obviously, that's the next part of our panel missions that we're going to have to go through. But if you notice, we're going to go over to the hidden potential system here. And we are going to go over everything that's here. However, I noticed that we don't have extra characters to be able to interact with this. So we're going to have to do one step before we actually get into hidden potential and stuff. So we're going to go over Dragon Ball Story first and kind of go over what that is and what that entails and kind of go from there, okay? So let's go over here. We press start. We go up to Dragon Ball Story. Now, this section is basically reliving the events of the series, of the franchise. A lot of these... This is basically the main means of being able to get the dupes for our Saiyan Saga characters and cards. And we get a support memory by completing all of this in its entirety as well. It goes over all the movies, it goes over GT, it goes over everything that happens in Z and OG Dragon Ball. Eventually, we'll get some super content. And potentially Dama content as well. A lot of these events in Dragon Ball Story are revamped. They're basically revamped story events from this page over here. Let this load in. So like a lot of these, like you see that the Dama story here is saying it's a story. Basically, a lot of these, not these, a lot of these are going to come from... A lot of the Dragon Ball Story stuff is going to come from the Story tab over here. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for the Dragon Ball Story, because we're going to have to go in here, and we're going to have to complete stages in order to get dupes or duplicates of our free-to-play Saiyan Saga team. So ideally, we're going to want to come over to, I believe it's at the bottom here. Yep, a new threat, Saiyan Warrior characters. Recruit 9 characters to your team, and Goku can be Dokkan awakened into an LR. So, through this event, we relive the story of the Saiyan Saga. As you can see, we can acquire all of our characters that we need to be able to acquire, going through each of these stages. So basically, this is how we're gonna get into this, and just go through the stages until we get to we're gonna go through the stages here until we at least get to stage 4, and then we'll I'll show you guys how that ends up working. So, oh, we already completed. So the intro to the game, like the tutorial that you went through when you started up your game, goes through the first 3 stages basically of this particular story. So, but we're gonna come over here to deeds done. We're going to do Z hard because our characters should be strong enough to be able to handle the harder difficulty. And by completing the higher difficulty stuff instead of the normal stages, like if we go back here, you don't have to go through and do the normal and the Z hard stage. You only need to do the highest rarity for these to be able to complete both. And when you complete both, you'll get a dragon stone. Or you'll get 2 dragon stones for doing both. So let's just jump in here.
All right, let's do this.
And see if we can get lucky here. So we talked about in the last episode, like battles, and how battles kind of, you get put on this little map, and you have to like direct your characters through the map to be able to grab items and stuff before you get into like the main fight, right? And as you can see, it's going over the scenario of Piccolo training up Gohan right before the Saiyan's arrival, and him going great ape by seeing it, right? So, all right. So now that we see a little bit more of what's going on the map here, you can see that it's a bit more involved than what it was before. As a keynote, these red circles with like the little reticle on it, you want to try and avoid those as best as you possibly can, because those will damage your overall health. So we're going to hit 3, which takes us to the key bar. And then when you land on the key charge node, it allows you to raise your key of one of your characters by 1, 2, 3, depending on how lucky you get. These question mark items can be a variety of things. It can be items, it can be medals, it can be training items. And in this case, we got an actual like support item. So, and a gold support item is great because it allows us to, gold support items are like the best rarity you can get. There's like bronze, there's silver, there's white, and there's gold. And the gold items are usually the ones that you want to try and go for. All right, so now we're gonna fight Great Ape Gohan here. And we got Chala, Head Chala playing in the background, so that's a nice little bonus, I guess. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna blitz through this, right? Because this shouldn't be all that difficult for the most part, right? So Chaozu's gonna go in here, he's gonna get some damage in. And because we raised the super attack of our characters in the last video, as you can see, we did a lot more damage than what we normally do. Plus, we got a stun. So, like, even if he were to somehow survive this particular attack, he would not be able to attack due to the fact of being stunned. So, Chaozu was going to be perfectly fine. And as we see, we got some link levels, basically making these link skills stronger than they were before, which is always good. All right, and that completes that stage. Now let's see if we get lucky from completing this stage. Taking its good sweet old time loading. We got a 1 rank up, which is good. We did not get lucky in this particular go, which means we're gonna have to do this stage again to get the extra copies of these characters, right? So I'm gonna pause the video real quick until we actually end up getting what we need, and we will be right back. Before I forget, there was one aspect of the main menu screen that I did not take into account, and that is the boost feature. So if you look below the different stages shown on the menu here, right below it, there's like these 3 little notches, and it says boost on, boost off. Basically, this is your boost function. Using the boost function allows a couple of things. One, when you're doing stages and you're getting link levels, it increases the chances of you being able to get those link levels increased, right? And then the other aspect of it is that you are able to, if you get rewards from a stage, the boost will get you double the rewards or an increase in rewards. So you generally want to try and savor this when you're doing like the major grinds, like in the beginning of playing. Towards the mid to later like cycle of your account, you're going to want to prioritize this specifically for potentially link leveling or getting awakened medals for when we awaken characters, and we'll go over that in a future video. But something I did want to mention here, but we're going to use this boost feature. We're going to turn this on. It's going to double the amount of stamina, but we're going to get twice the amount of rewards. So we're going to go through this stage again, and we're going to see if we actually get double the rewards here. All right, and we are back. We did the stage one time, and we were able to get 2 copies of the Goku or Gohan and Piccolo. So basically, this allows, because we used the boost before going into the stage, we were able to get double the rewards. So we got, under normal circumstances, if we weren't using the boost, we would have only gotten 1 copy, but we were able to get 2 because we did the boost. Now here's the kicker. Because we got to max out the potential of all of our Saiyan Saga characters for the panel missions, we're going to have to get 4 copies extra of all of these different characters. So this is going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a lot of time to grind this out to be able to do this, but it's going to be worthwhile in the end. So we're going to just fast forward till we get each of the different characters and kind of go from there. All right, so I'm not beating the allegations. I clearly didn't know how to read. So if we go back to the panel missions, right? We go back to the panel missions, and we see here that we have to activate 55% of Goku's hidden potential, right? So that's part of the standard thing. By doing this particular panel mission, you actually get all 4 copies that you need for each of these characters. So I didn't read. I'm a Dragon Ball fan. It is what it is. Let's go over to the panel mission or the hidden potential system and kind of talk about what that is, though. So this is the hidden potential system. Basically, what this is that this further boosts your characters up. So by completing this entire, think of it like the Final Fantasy X sphere grid. If you've ever played Final Fantasy X, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, by 100%ing this, by activating every single one of these nodes, you will be able to unlock 100% of this character's potential. Everything that they're able and capable of doing, you'll be able to do so here. So the first part of this, says that we need to get them to 55%, right? So we're just going to do this to make this easy. We're going to activate all. By activating all, it tells us exactly what we're getting from boosting this guy up to 55%. So we're getting 2,000 to all our stats. We're getting +5 to all of this, and +6 to all this. And then it requires all of these potential orbs to be able to get there. So we're just going to activate this. This completes that potential orb. This completes that particular panel mission. So let's go back and grab that so we have all of the stuff that we need. Grab this. All right, so we have 4 copies of each of the characters, which means we can unlock all 4 potential routes for every single one of these characters. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what the hidden potential system is actually about. So as you can see here, this tells you all the different stats for the characters up at the top. Basically, we're going to go through each and every single one of these little nodes at the bottom here. So the first node's going to be combo attack. Basically, for every 1 level that you have on combo attack, basically gives you a 2% increase to have that particular effect happen. So with combo attack, you get an additional chance to perform an extra attack, and sometimes you might get an extra super attack by being able to utilize this. So because it's at level 5 currently, because of it being at 55%, we have a 10% chance of having an additional attack on these characters. With a proc of that 10% being a 50-50 shot at being a super attack. Then we have crit. Critical hit basically ignores enemies' defense and makes it so that way its attacks are highly effective against all types. So basically, the way that works is like, we remember the color wheel. Physical is strong against intelligence. Intelligence is strong against tech. Green strong into blue. Blue is strong into red. And it just goes around on that wheel. Basically, crit ignores like the thing that you're not strong into. So if you're an AGL character, a blue character, attacking into a tech character, a green character, you basically are able to do effective damage against those characters without the type disadvantage going into effect, right? And then critical hit works the exact same way as combo attack. For every level that is on this particular skill, it goes up by 2%. So If you're at level 5 here, then you have a 10% chance of getting a critical hit on attack. Then you have evasion. Evasion is a defensive skill that allows you to just evade enemy attacks. So if you have a percentage, if you have a level on evasion, it allows you to have a possibility of just completely negating or evading getting any damaged in any particular way. Very strong. Some bosses in the game, in the harder content, will nullify dodge or nullify evasion, to which case evasion does nothing for you, but that's, you know, you don't have to worry about that as a new player. So the difference with evasion compared to crit and combo attack is that for every level that you put in evasion, you get a 1% chance instead of a 2% chance of doing that. So keep that in mind going forward. Then you have type attack boost. So basically, if you're strong against a certain, the higher that level that this is, the stronger that your attacks will be into the typing that you're strong into. Defense is the exact same way. Whenever you're attacked by a typing that they're disadvantaged to you for, like this increases your defensive boost. Super attack boost basically boosts up your super attack power even further than what your super attack level is on your character. And then recovery boost recovers the higher the level on this, it raises up your HP more effectively, basically. Right. So now we did all that. So now we have the 4 different copies that we have for each of these characters. So now we can unlock 4 of the different nodes. Basically, the 4 different nodes indicate different levels of growth, basically. If we go and I think we look here, is it here that it tells us the different nodes? I don't think so. Is it this? All right, either way, remember when I said that you needed 4 copies to be able to fully unlock each of these characters? Well, it's for these nodes. So you need 4 extra copies in order to be able to 100% unlock their potential. So we have 4 copies here of Goku. So we're going to go ahead and just unlock these, right? Now, the way that you want to go about unlocking these in the order that you want to unlock these is you always want to start in the bottom right corner, because as you can see, there are these there are these grayed out boxes that are down here, these star boxes. These boxes will allow you to add additional combo attack, critical hit, or evasion on your character, depending on how you want to build your characters. So you want to unlock this bottom corner first, because the bottom corner has the most amount of nodes to be able to upgrade your character. Then you want to then after you do the bottom right, you want to do the top left, because it gives you the second most amount of boosts you can give to your character. The top right corner and the bottom left corner, you can kind of do those in any particular order after you do the bottom right and the top left. The top right corner basically focuses on attack, while the bottom left corner focuses on defense. So let's just go through and completely unlock all of these nodes, just so we have them. And then let's activate them all so that we can start upgrading. Now, when it comes to choosing how you want to build your characters, you're going to want to hold and click on the character that you're in the potential system. You want to hold and click on them, and you want to go to the highest rarity that you can for these characters. Hold that character down to see what they do. You can hit the detailed list down in the bottom right corner, and then you can go ahead and look at their super attacks and passives. Now, the way that I personally like to build my characters, you don't have to follow this methodology, but the way that I like to look at these characters and build these characters normally is that I look at their kits, I look at their passives, and I look at their super attacks, and I see what it is that they are doing in order to be able to know what the most effective way to do it. Depending on what is in their particular kit and in their passives, I will usually give them abilities that kind of supplement what their kit isn't providing for them. So if we take a look at this LR Goku that we're going to awaken to LR later, he boosts attack when he performs a super attack. He reduces he's got damage reduction and stuff like that, which doesn't necessarily apply to what we're looking for. But we can see that he launches an additional attack, super attack within the same turn that he receives an attack, and then he gets additional buffs based on receiving attacks, and then he has a chance to perform a critical hit by 15% per superclass ally on the team, which he can get that buff up until 59%. So this Goku has the potential he has a 60% chance of being able to crit with each of his attacks, right? So the way that I look at this is that because he has crit in his passive, I don't necessarily want to give him additional crit because he's already being given crit just naturally within his thing. And then in terms of like if I want to give him super attack or not, I generally kind of look at the super attack. Some super attacks on some characters have this wording where it says at the beginning, raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Some characters won't have that 1 turn distinction given. Usually if it doesn't tell you that you only get it for 1 turn or 2 turns, that generally means that it has a stacking effect of boosting up your attack and defense. So for those particular characters, I like to give a little bit of extra combo attack because it allows you to boost those characters up over the course of each fight, right? Now, this particular Goku only boosts his attack up for 1 turn. So I think due to the fact that he's a free-to-play character, and free-to-play characters aren't always the greatest, they are meant to be free-to-play to help you clear events. So I think in the way I want to build this particular Goku, I want to give him as much dodge as I can with a secondary and additional to maybe land an extra attack in the fight. So we're going to click on each of these nodes and we're going to do evasion in all of our evasion slots that has evasion. And then for each particular node that doesn't have evasion, we're going to do the skill, the extra combo attack. And then for the attack and defense portion of the hidden potential skill, we're going to do super attack, and we're going to do recovery. When it comes to the type defense and type attack boosts, like I don't see them as being like all that beneficial for the most part. You can add them, you can do it if you want. I don't think it's going to really hurt to do a little extra damage on when you're super effective against stuff. But for the most part, I think boosting super attack and boosting recovery just helps out a lot more. All right. So with that said, this Goku is now 100% completed. We can see that he is 100% completed because the star at the bottom right of his image is rainbowed. So that means that we have finished this character's hidden potential. You can boost up your characters a little bit more with the skill orb system, which we haven't quite gotten into just yet. Yeah, we had no skill orbs, as you can plainly see, but we'll get into that when we in a further video. But for now, I'm going to pause the video here, and we're going to unlock all the nodes on all our other characters so we can complete the panel missions and wrap up this video. All right, so we went through and we unlocked all the extra nodes with all of our dupe copies of all of our Saiyan Saga characters. So now we can fully unlock all of the potential of every single one of these characters if we really wanted to. Obviously, we are very low on resources in terms of being able to do this, so we're not going to go out of our way just yet to do that. However, that is now done, so we can actually go back and complete our panel missions and wrap up today's video. So as you can see, we completed all this. We got a bunch of hidden potential orbs, which will actually allow us to go on 100% each of those Saiyan Saga units. But with that said, the hidden potential aspect of this is now done. And by completing this particular step, we have unlocked challenge events, quests, and World Tournament. World Tournament is going to be an interesting one for us to go through, just because it's not available as of yet. When that becomes available, we'll do a video on that too, to kind of talk about that. But yeah, that's gonna be that. So, and we'll start this part of this. We'll start this part of these panel missions once we go into the next video, because we just need to unlock the hidden potential of everybody. So. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Sorry if this one was a bit more long-winded. I kind of generally want to keep this under 20 minutes for each part, but obviously hidden potential is one of the more extensive parts of teaching this game, and I felt like I needed to actually talk about it in length for you guys to be able to understand and get a concept of how it works. But yeah, that's going to do it for this particular video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are learning a lot and taking in all the information that we're putting out over the course of the series. And with that said, I'll see you guys all in the next Dokkan Battle Beginner's Guide. Peace.